Imagine living in a world where every piece of news feels like an echo of something greater, as if we are witnessing cosmic puzzle pieces falling into place before our eyes. Daily headlines about wars, economic crises, and natural disasters make us question, is this merely a random sequence of events? Or are we living in an era marked by special, perhaps prophetic, significance? This sense of unease sparks an almost irresistible curiosity, a need to seek answers that transcend earthly logic. Sacred texts offer a lens through which we can interpret these signs, particularly the mysterious four horsemen of the apocalypse. But who are they, really? What do they represent? And how can their symbolic meanings illuminate our understanding of the challenges and opportunities of our time? This journey will explore these enigmatic figures, connecting their messages to the modern world, and inviting you to deeply reflect on your role in this grand theater of existence. We are immersed in a whirlwind of transformations that seem to exceed our capacity for understanding. In recent years, the pace of global change has accelerated to unprecedented levels, leaving us perplexed in the face of events that defy logic and expectations. Devastating wars, pandemics, and economic crises have become part of an apparently relentless cycle, generating a continuous sense of instability. Every day, we are bombarded with news that, years ago, might have been considered fictional scripts. Historical-scale natural disasters, technological advances revolutionizing how we live and interact, and social movements exposing deeply rooted inequalities, all point to a question: are these occurrences merely random, or do they signal something greater? The feeling that we are living in significant times is not new. Since ancient civilizations, humanity has sought to interpret the events around them as parts of a larger plan. Often, moments of crisis are seen as opportunities for renewal and reflection. However, what makes our time so unique is the convergence of global challenges happening simultaneously and interconnectedly. Biblical texts, particularly in the Book of Revelation, offer a fascinating perspective on these periods of transformation. Within its pages, we find descriptions of events that seem to resonate in our current reality, raising the possibility that we are living in the so-called last days. But what does this mean for us, as individuals and as a society? The search for answers leads us to explore powerful symbols that transcend time and space. The four horsemen of the apocalypse emerge as a universal metaphor for forces shaping human destiny. But they are not merely figures of destruction. They are also invitations to introspection, transformation, and spiritual preparation for a greater purpose. At the heart of apocalyptic prophecies stand the four horsemen, figures that have fascinated and intrigued scholars, believers, and skeptics for centuries. Each horseman, riding its respective symbolic horse, carries messages of profound impact. The white horse, often associated with conquest, symbolizes both power and the challenges of human dominion. But does it represent only victories, or also the pitfalls of pride and ambition? The red horse, bearer of conflict, serves as a vivid reminder that wars have shaped, and continue to shape, human history. Its devastating effects extend beyond battlefields, penetrating hearts and minds, dividing communities and nations. Yet its presence also challenges us to seek peace amidst chaos. The balance held by the rider of the black horse evokes scarcity and inequality, themes that resonate strongly in a world where wealth is concentrated in the hands of a few while millions struggle for survival. It forces us to confront our responsibilities as individuals and societies in building a more just world. Finally, the pale horse, with its message of mortality, is perhaps the most unsettling of all. It confronts us with life's fragility, reminding us that death is inevitable but not without purpose. At its core, it invites us to reflect on how we live, whether we are truly aligned with eternal and spiritual values. Far from being mere agents of destruction, these horsemen offer powerful lessons about the balance between power and humility, war and peace, scarcity and generosity, mortality and eternity. They are mirrors reflecting the forces governing our world, calling us to action and spiritual awakening. In a world marked by turbulence, spiritual reflection emerges as an essential compass. When everything around us seems to crumble, we are called to look inward, into the depths of our souls, seeking answers and direction. The signs of the times, as described in the Scriptures, are not merely warnings of impending destruction. They are invitations to deeper understanding. Faith, in this context, is not an escape but an anchor. It connects us to something greater than ourselves, providing a sense of purpose even in the midst of storms. Crises, no matter how challenging, offer opportunities for spiritual growth, as they force us to question what truly matters. The Bible often describes periods of tribulation as moments of divine renewal. Just as chaos preceded creation in Genesis, crises can be preludes to something greater and more meaningful. Divine sovereignty, as depicted in countless passages, assures us that nothing happens outside His control. As we reflect on the four horsemen, we realize they do not merely foreshadow the future, but also challenge us to transform the present. Spiritual preparation is not just a religious practice. It is a lifestyle that empowers us to face challenges with courage and serenity. Thus, spiritual reflection amid chaos is not only an individual necessity but also a collective responsibility. It calls us to be light in dark times, to inspire others to find hope, and to act in ways that make a difference in a world so desperately in need of healing. And redemption. The four horsemen of the Apocalypse, so often perceived as figures of the past, find a striking reflection in the events we witness today. The biblical descriptions of conquest, conflict, scarcity, and mortality seem more relevant than ever in a world where global crises are interconnected and amplified by technology and globalization. Consider the red horse, symbolizing war and conflict. We live in an era where territorial disputes, cyber warfare, and internal divisions continue to shape global geopolitics. It is not just about traditional battles. Silent wars are fought through disinformation, resource control, and political manipulation, highlighting the omnipresence of conflict in our society. The black horse, with its balance, evokes extreme inequality. In a world where billions live in poverty while a few enjoy unimaginable wealth, the message of this horseman resonates with painful urgency. Economic crises, exacerbated by pandemics and climate change, deepen the disparity between those who have and those who lack, emphasizing the need for social justice and solidarity. The pale horse, representing mortality, has found a modern symbol in the recent COVID-19 pandemic. This global event exposed humanity's vulnerability, reminding us that despite technological advancements, we remain fragile in the face of natural forces. Yet, the pandemic also revealed human resilience and the ability to find solutions when united. These parallels between the horsemen and the modern world are not mere coincidences. They are invitations to reflect on our role as individuals and as a global community. The crises we face are not just challenges to overcome. They are opportunities to create a more compassionate, just, and aligned world with the eternal values described in the Scriptures. Each horseman, through its symbolism, calls us to action. They challenge us to seek peace in the midst of war, promote equality in times of scarcity, and find purpose in mortality. Their messages, far from being distant prophecies, come alive and pulsate in our time, guiding us toward collective and individual transformation. Spiritual preparation is the foundation for confronting the challenges symbolized by the four horsemen. It is not merely about recognizing external signs, but about cultivating an inner strength capable of withstanding life's fiercest storms. As Ephesians 6 verse 13 exhorts, we must put on the full armor of God to endure in times of adversity. The first component of this preparation is prayer, a living connection with the Creator. More than a ritual, prayer is a moment of spiritual alignment, where our worries are transformed into trust and our weaknesses into strength. Through this intimate dialogue with God, we find clarity and courage to navigate uncertainty. Another indispensable tool is the study of Scripture. The Bible is a treasure trove of timeless truths that illuminate our paths in moments of darkness. Each verse serves as a firm stepping stone, offering wisdom and hope as we traverse unstable terrain. Fellowship with others also fortifies spiritual preparation. We were not made to face life's battles alone. A community of faith provides support, encouragement, and renewal. When united in prayer and service, we create a powerful network of love and care, reflecting God's essence. Finally, spiritual preparation demands action. Belief alone is insufficient. Living faith must manifest in practical ways. Every act of kindness, generosity, and encouragement becomes a tangible expression of our connection to the divine. Spiritual preparation not only equips us to face crises but also transforms us into agents of change, spreading hope and light to a world in need. The black horse, with its symbolic balance, challenges us to confront our role in a world riddled with inequality. In an era where hunger and poverty coexist with luxury and abundance, social justice emerges as one of humanity's greatest moral imperatives. Economic inequality is a complex issue, but passivity is not an option. The Scriptures call us to action. Proverbs 31 verses 8 to 9 reminds us to speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. This is not merely a call for charity but a directive to advocate for fairness and compassion. Social justice begins with small acts. Sharing food, helping a neighbor in need, or participating in community projects are seemingly simple gestures that carry eternal significance. Such actions exemplify the love of God in practice, spreading hope in a world often consumed by despair. Moreover, we are called to raise our voices against oppression and injustice. As Amos 5 verse 24 implores, "Let justice roll on like a river, righteousness like a never-failing stream." This struggle requires courage, but it also presents an opportunity to embody faith in meaningful ways. Ultimately, social justice is not merely a reflection of God's kingdom, it is preparation for it. Every act of generosity and compassion not only transforms the present world, but also aligns us with God's eternal purpose. When we care for others, we serve the Creator Himself, bringing light into a world overshadowed by darkness. Responding to the call of the four horsemen means embarking on a transformative journey of faith and purpose. It is not just about understanding the signs, but aligning our lives with the eternal values they represent. This journey demands courage, introspection, and consistent action. The first step in this journey is introspection. We must examine our lives and ask, are we living according to the principles of God's kingdom? This reflection helps us identify areas needing transformation and deepens our connection with the Creator. The next step is action. Every act of kindness, compassion, and encouragement becomes a seed planted in a world desperate for hope. These actions, no matter how small, have eternal significance because they reflect God's love and justice. This journey is marked by challenges that test our faith and resilience. Yet, it is through these moments that we experience spiritual growth. Just as gold is refined in fire, our faith is strengthened through difficulties faced with courage and trust in God. Moreover, the journey of faith and purpose is not a solitary one. We are accompanied by a God who guides and strengthens us at every step. This journey not only transforms our lives but also impacts the world around us, spreading light, hope, and redemption. This interconnected narrative of the four horsemen is not merely a message of end times but a call to personal renewal and collective action. It challenges us to seek peace, promote justice, and find purpose even amidst chaos. Are you ready to embark on this journey? Together, we can create a life marked by faith, purpose, and eternal significance. The four horsemen of the apocalypse are more than symbols of judgment and destruction. They are divine invitations to see beyond chaos and uncertainty, to uncover a profound message of redemption, purpose, and transformation. In times of despair, their signs call us not to fear but to courage, reflection, and renewal. They show us that, no matter how dark the circumstances may seem, there is always a guiding light. The story of humanity, filled with highs and lows, is like a grand mosaic where each piece may appear disconnected, but when viewed from a broader perspective, reveals a divine purpose. Though we face wars, pandemics, economic crises, and natural disasters, the Scriptures assure us that God remains sovereign, steering everything toward a glorious conclusion. The promise of ultimate victory, woven throughout the Bible, gives us strength to persevere, knowing that even amidst chaos, there is order and meaning. Responding to this call requires action and faith. We are invited to look within ourselves, evaluate our lives, and align our priorities with the eternal values of God's kingdom. This means not only believing but also acting. Every kind gesture, every word of encouragement, and every compassionate attitude contributes to transforming the world around us. Even the simplest actions carry eternal impact, as they are part of something greater than ourselves. Embracing this journey demands determination and enthusiasm. The challenges are undeniable. They test our faith and endurance. However, the rewards are eternal and far beyond what we can imagine. This path is not a lonely one. It is walked alongside a Creator who knows our fears and weaknesses but also our strengths and potential. He calls us to be light in the darkness and agents of change in a world so desperately in need of hope. Finally, this message serves as a powerful reminder that we are never alone. Even in the most difficult moments, there is always a promise of redemption. In Christ, we are more than conquerors. He gives us the courage to face the future, the peace to endure storms, and the joy of knowing that we are contributing to something eternal. Are you ready for this journey? May it be marked by faith, purpose, and transformation, so that in the end, we can say we lived fully, trusting in God's promises.